Bikie boss Mark Buddle is back on Australian soil and in police custody, charged with importing $40 million worth of cocaine.
The capture. Dubai 2022. Dubai 2022. The city glows under the desert sun, skyscrapers piercing the haze. A private jet sits surrounded by police vehicles, officers standing in formation, hands on their weapons. The door opens. A man steps out, tall, calm, cuffed. His name is Mark Buddle. For years, Australia called him its most wanted man. To the outlaw world, he was something else entirely. The Comanchero King. He doesn't look like a biker. No leather, no chains, just a black shirt, an expensive watch, and the silence of someone who's already accepted his fate. Behind those mirrored glasses is a man who built an empire and lost it all. Origins of a brotherhood. To understand Buddle, you have to go back to where it all began. Sydney, 1968. Australia is changing. Vietnam veterans return home to a country that doesn't recognize them. They crave the structure, the brotherhood, the war that made them feel alive. So they create their own army, the Comanchero Motorcycle Club. Led by Jock Ross, a former soldier obsessed with discipline and control, the club runs on military rules. Ranks, orders, punishments. They march before they ride. They salute before they drink. But in a world built on pride, discipline soon turns to domination, and domination turns to rebellion. The Father's Day Massacre. By the early 1980s, tension inside the club grows. Members split. One group, led by Anthony Snodgrass Spencer, breaks away to form a rival club, the Bandidos. What followed would change Australian outlaw history forever. On September 2nd, 1984, Father's Day, two rival clubs, Comanchero and Bandidos, arrive at the same car park in Milperra, Sydney. Both are armed with shotguns, pistols, and hatred. By the time it's over, 7 people are dead, including a teenage girl. It's called the Milperra Massacre, Australia's first true biker war. The country is shocked, the clubs become legendary, and in that chaos, a lesson is born. In Australia, power belongs to the one willing to spill blood for it. The making of Mark Buddle. Melbourne, 1976. A boy grows up in poverty. He learns early that the world is divided into predators and prey. His name is Mark Buddle. He drops out of school, finds boxing, and finds his weapon, discipline and pain. The ring teaches him control. The streets teach him violence. By his 20s, he's already known to police for armed robbery, assault, and gang activity. But Buddle isn't reckless. He's ambitious. He wants something more than chaos. He wants command. When he joins the Comanchero, the club is fractured. The old leaders are tired. The new recruits are hungry. Buddle stands out. Calm, calculating, dangerous. He rises quickly, not because he's the loudest, but because he's the smartest. By his early 30s, he's the national president of the Comanchero Motorcycle Club. Rebuilding the empire. Under Buddle, the Comanchero transform. He reorganizes everything. National leadership, regional heads, financial systems. He introduces one rule. Every move must make money, or it doesn't happen. No more random bar fights, no pointless turf wars. Every act of violence must serve profit. He treats the club like a business. The brothers become employees, the clubhouses become offices, and the profits explode. Ports, trucking routes, and warehouses fall under Comanchero control. They run cocaine from Colombia, meth from Southeast Asia, weapons from Eastern Europe. Police estimate tens of millions flowing through fake companies and tattoo parlors. Buddle builds the first outlaw corporation, and he rules it like a CEO in leather. The enemies and the war. But power breeds enemies. The rebels, Hells Angels, Mongols, and Bandidos all want territory. Turf wars ignite across Australia. Bombs under cars, bullets through windows, bodies in rivers. One of the bloodiest moments comes in 2009 at Sydney Airport. A brutal public brawl between Comanchero and Hells Angels ends with one man beaten to death in front of horrified travelers. The footage shocks the nation. For the government, that's enough. They create Task Force Maxima, Echo, and Raptor. elite anti-bikie units, with one goal: destroy the empires. But Buddle doesn't blink. He knows pressure only kills the weak, and he's not weak. The luxury of power. By 2014, Buddle's world looks nothing like the street. He lives in million-dollar homes, drives armored cars, travels with private security. He still calls himself a club president, but he looks more like a corporate kingpin. He wears suits, not vests. He drinks champagne, not beer. His meetings happen in penthouses, not garages. And yet, every decision still runs through him. Every dollar, every deal, every shipment. Police start calling him Australia's Pablo Escobar on two wheels. But power this big can't stay quiet forever. The Vanishing. Then comes the pressure. Raids across Australia target the Comanchero network. Millions seized, dozens arrested. But not Buddle. He's gone. Vanished. One day he's in Sydney, the next he's a ghost. Rumors swirl. Greece, Lebanon, the Philippines, Turkey. Interpol lists him as wanted. But in truth, he's in Dubai, living in luxury, surrounded by bodyguards, watching the world hunt for him. From exile, he still commands. Encrypted phones, coded messages, offshore transfers. He's running an empire from the clouds. The chase. For 6 years, the Australian Federal Police and Interpol chase him. They trace his digital footprints, crypto wallets, shell companies, coded networks. They map his organization, ports, drug labs, couriers. Every lead is a ghost. Every trail ends in silence. Until 2022. A break. Turkish intelligence intercepts a communication. Buddle is inside a villa in Bottram. The operation is swift. Police surround the compound, guns raised. Within minutes, he's in custody. The king is caught. The trial of a king. When his jet lands in Darwin, reporters swarmed the runway. For years, they'd seen his name in headlines. Now they see his face. Calm, quiet, unbroken. Courtrooms become battlegrounds. Prosecutors call him the architect of a billion-dollar drug empire. They show bank transfers, intercepted calls, encrypted messages. The defense says he's just a businessman, a target of police obsession with outlaw clubs. Inside the courtroom, Buddle barely moves. He sits still, eyes forward, calm like a soldier. He knows how to wait. He's done it his whole life. Witnesses testify. Former Comanchero members, rivals, associates. They describe a man who ruled through fear, who ordered beatings, and demanded absolute silence. For every charge denied, another file opens. The system he built is now being used against him. The collapse. With Buddle behind bars, the Comanchero begin to fracture. Old loyalties fade. Young blood rises. Every chapter wants control. Drive-by shootings return. Nightclubs are bombed. Families threatened. Police crack down with new laws, patch bans, travel restrictions, financial freezes. But even that doesn't kill the network. Because the Comanchero are more than men. They're a system, one that Buddle designed to survive without him. Inside the cell. Behind bars, Buddle keeps his silence. No interviews, no statements. He reads, works out, waits. Fellow inmates call him the boss. Guards say he's polite, disciplined, calculating. Even in prison, he holds command. But isolation wears on him. He built an empire that spanned oceans. Now his world is 8 square meters of concrete. Sometimes, late at night, he hears engines in his mind. The roar of Harleys echoing in the dark. The legacy. Mark Buddle didn't just change the Comanchero, he changed the outlaw world. He replaced chaos with control. He replaced brotherhood with business. He turned rebellion into profit. The Comanchero he built still exists. Powerful, global, feared. But without him, the cracks widen. Rival clubs fight for the vacuum. The Mongols surge in Queensland. The rebels dominate the West. The Hells Angels return to Melbourne. The streets are loud again. The war never truly ended. The cost of power. Every empire has a price. Buddle learned that too late. He won the war for control and lost his freedom. He created a machine that even he couldn't stop. And in the end, that machine consumed him. From the outside, he looked invincible. Wealth, power, loyalty.
But inside, paranoia ruled. Every phone call could be a cop. Every brother could be a spy. Every friend could sell your name. The higher he rose, the lonelier he became. Epilogue. The road never ends. Today the engines still roar, the patches still fly, and the Comanchero names still strike fear. But in the outlaw world, legends fade fast. There's always a new king, a new war, a new betrayal waiting to happen. Mark Buddle's rise and fall is a lesson written in blood, that power without loyalty is an empire built on sand. From the streets of Sydney to the deserts of Dubai, his story is the story of every outlaw dream. Freedom chased, power gained, and peace lost forever. The king who ruled the roads now rules silence. But in every Harley that thunders through the night, his name rides again. Mark Buddle, the Comanchero King. Fade to black, the engines echo, the legend lives on.